All right, we're gonna be making a dominant post score today. I know I'm a little under the weather, probably sound like it. So if you can understand me, then you can make a post score like mine. I usually don't show my builds because 2K has a habit of patching anything that's any good. But since this is the end of 2K21, I figured we could go ahead and do this. So this is a very, very dominant offensive build. He's pretty much unstoppable. He can score at between a 70 to 90% field goal percentage, just depending on if you're playing park, you're playing twos, you're playing threes, or you're playing rec. I mostly play rec. I also play some twos. On occasion, I'll play threes, but I mean, he's pretty much good for anything, but obviously when you have less people, less traffic, like threes or twos, then he's going to score at a much higher percentage. But even in the rec, right now I use this guy. This is one of the builds that I use. I got another one that's similar to this, which I'll show in another video, that I also use, and I'm sitting at about a 74% field goal percentage across almost 2,000 games in the rec. So, if any of y'all keep track of field goal percentages in 2K, you'll know it's very, very high. In fact, I've really only seen one 2K player that I've ran across this year that had a higher field goal percentage than me in the rec. So let's get this video started and see what this build's about. So you can go to your player builder, left-handed, right-handed, just really depends on what side of the basket you'd like to shoot on. Um, Either way, he's going to still be dominant on either side of the basket. So I got mine at left-handed, center, always 99 because that's what centers do. This is a pure blue build. Now, one unique thing about this build is how many badges that it has, and the badges that it gets. It's also unique. So it's one of the things I really like about this build. If you want one of the builds that's going to get you the most badges, I haven't seen another build that gets you 68 badges so far. There might be, I'm not saying there's not, but I haven't seen one. So this you can get up to 68 badges. I like it at 67 to be honest, but let's move forward. So we're going to go with the pure blue pie chart. It's at the very top right here. Now, on the physical profile, we're going to go with vertical and we're going to go with strength. Now, I know some of you guys like your physical profile a little bit different, especially considering with what we're going to do to this guy. He's already going to have very high strength, and he's also already going to be very slow. His vertical is not going to be great. So it's kind of a disadvantage. But one thing I'm going to go over on this is intangibles. 2K has intangibles built into certain builds. If you play 2K long enough, you know that. And this is one of those builds that I actually came across this build on accident. Didn't think it was going to be that great because of the stats, but I realized the intangibles on this build are tremendous. Um, like I said, there's really only one build that can even slow this down, and even that isn't going to be able to stop this build. So um, it's a really good build. All right, so I'm going to go with strength and vertical because obviously if I'm playing at the center position, I want to be able to also jump as high as possible for rebounds and blocks. And strength is very important when you're a center and a post scorer. So we're going strength, vertical. So first I'm going to show you how to get your 67 badges, which is really how I like it. And then I'll adjust it to where you can see where you can get 68 like I promised. And you can really tweak this how you want it. There are some important factors though. So first thing we're going to do, obviously the center, you want to max out your rebounding on both sides. You want to max out your blocking. And you also want to max out your interior defense. Next, he's obviously a post scorer, so you want to make sure that you have that post scoring maxed out as well. We're going to go back up here. Close shot, obviously, you want that maxed out. Now, driving layup, driving dunk, we're actually not going to touch that. Part of the reason is because these are going to go down anyway, but this is just how this build is built. So, standing dunk, we're going to max that out. Now, to get the 67 badges, I like to max out the post hook, but to get your 68 badges, you're not going to want to max it out. But we're going to start with 67, so we're going to max out this post hook. Alright, so this is the base of what we got here. Next, we're going to work on this post fade, the green, and we're also going to do free throw. The reason we do this is because, look, we got these 6 shooting badges now, which is post faded free throw. Now, 3-pointer, you put 1 on it, and you'll have 7 badges. You can also do the same to mid-range if you want, if you like to take hooks, things like that. Put it on mid-range if you want. But either way, either mid-range or 3-point, just click it over once, give it 1 progression point, and you get those 7 badges right there. So, we're going to go pass accuracy. We got 3 progression points left, which I'm going to mix this up a little bit. Alright, so this is the 30, 40, 60. So we got right now 67 badges. So this is really how I like to build mine. It's a little bit less badges, but like I said, it does what I like to do. I mean, one of this build's big advantages is obviously post scoring. So having that post hook really maximizes the shooting badges you get because obviously he can't shoot. So if you have 7 shooting badges, you might think, well, why do I want 7 shooting badges? But if you play in the post, you know post hooks, things like Hot Zone Hunter, those activate on post hooks. And if you're dominant in the post, you're going to have those hot zones down there. So you can do mid-range hooks all day if your man doesn't want to come out and guard you, say, at the key or at the top of the paint. You can do those hooks all day, and they're going to drop. So this is how I like to make mine. Now, if you tweak it a little bit, you are able to get 1 more badge. Let me see. How you tweak it is you can take this down till you get 30. So, right at 30, that's 88. That gives me 7 more. So, bring this up to 20. After you bring this up to 20, these are all extras. No matter what you put it on, you're not going to get any more badges. So really, you could just put it on whatever you want. So that's that, and then this, you could even put it up to this, and you're good to go. So that's 30, 40, 50, 68 badges right there. So we're going to go back and we're going to switch this back up to my 67 just because that's how I like it and go from there. So let's take this off. Let's take this back up. And there we go. Alright. So this is where the intangibles come in. So you make this build at 7 foot, and there's really a lot of other things that you can do with this, and it'll be a good build, but it's not going to be near as dominant. For some reason, obviously, 2K has special intangibles built with different sizes and things like that. So this is going to be a max size build. So max size, as you know, anybody that has built a max size, it takes a lot away. I mean, they take a lot for max size. It's one of the things I like the least about 2K is how much you lose from going max size. But the intangibles, they're worth it. So we're going 7-3. As you can see, all of our speed, acceleration, vertical, that's all gone now. But also our block, rebounding, all of that is up. You can see a lot of the things that went down are things that we did not upgrade in the first place, which is designed that way. So also, this is going to be almost max size. Well, it actually is going to be the max size because what we want is we want that interior defense as high as possible. So right now we're at 290, and that gives us a +9 on our interior defense with an 86 interior defense, which is great, especially when you're max size. Max size, you got an 86 interior defense. As long as you get a body on somebody, there's not a lot of people that's going to go over your head with it. As long as you're not standing on a basket. And as you can see, it took more away from some of the things that we did not even add to, which is the reason we didn't add to these. because all it's going to do is take them away, and even if you add to it, it's only going to be mediocre at best. So also, you see our speed, our acceleration, our vertical, it's basically in the crapshoot. So you could do the same thing and you could go strength, speed, or you can even go speed and vertical. But if you go speed and vertical, you're not going to have the strength, and the strength is the most important for this position. So I recommend, regardless of whether you go strength, speed and acceleration, or strength vertical, make sure strength is one of them. You could do the even pie chart too, but like I said, I like strength being focused. So we're at 290 right now. So wingspan, we're going to max that out as well. Maxing out this wingspan, it normally takes down the strength, but since our strength is so very high already from our size and our weight, it's not going to take down our strength at all. But you can see it also brings up a block, brings up offensive and defensive rebounding. Like I said, I mostly play rec. And if you're playing in the rec and you're five that doesn't shoot, you have to be able to anchor the defense. There's no substitution to being able to anchor the defense. So regardless of what you do, you have to be able to beat people at the rim. So we're going to go max wingspan here. You have two takeovers you can choose. You can choose rim protector, or you can do the post score and takeover. Now, I don't usually do the rim protecting takeover on this build, although I haven't tried it. You might like it. The thing about rim protecting is you put that takeover on it, he is going to be more dominant at blocks, and more dominant at defense. So having the rim protecting takeover actually might make a better build. But obviously, if you've done a post scoring takeover, you know a post scoring takeover is nasty, especially if you're on the twos and you're an elite. You got that takeover booster. I mean, you get that takeover fast, and then what are they going to do once you have that takeover? It is nasty. He's already dominant down there with a takeover. It just makes it even worse. So we're going to do that post scoring takeover. Yes, this build's complete. And you can see the comparison is going to be Yao Ming, Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid. Surprise, Joel Embiid is on there, probably because of the shooting badges, even though it cannot shoot. But I love the Yao Ming comparison because Yao Ming was very, very dominant in the post. You know, believe me, check out some videos against him against Shaq. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull out the one that I made earlier this year, and we're just going to go into my core. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that he does. Obviously, you can check out some of my other videos, and you'll see me using this build. I use this build a lot in the park, just because on twos, it's all about efficiency, and this is literally probably the most efficient score in the game. So it's pretty easy to win twos. Now, granted, I do play with pros and rookies on twos because that's just some of the content I like to do. But we like to carry them to wins on that. So this is the build right here. We're going to return the main menu, and we're going to go and select the same build and see what he can do. This is him right here. Now you can see I have a lot of low builds. I upgraded this one to a higher build just because as he wins games, you get that 96, 97, 98, 99. Just makes him even more dominant. And this is the end of 2K21, so it doesn't really matter. All right. So let's take a look at this. So you can see I built this one pretty much the same as I showed you with the 67 badges. You can see these are all the badges: 30, 40, 50, 57, 58, 69. So I did this one with 65, I think. So either that or my math is incorrect. Either way, I'm going to show you what I got. So first, I'm going to show you field goal percentage. So keep in mind, I do play with, like I said, pros and rookies in the park. I've actually played with other players, then I'm sure I'd have. Well, actually, earlier in the year, I did have much higher win percentage on that. So, but you can see my field goal percentage is on point. 81.3% field goal percentage on the Bees. That's not using this player exclusively, but this player is really what brings that field goal percentage up a lot. And then you can see in the rec at 73.9% field goal percentage, almost 74% field goal percentage right now. So, I mean, it's great build. Let's go to some VIP stats, show you what kind of score he is. So you can see he averages close to 11 points per game in the park, which, it's pretty good. It's a great score. In the rec, we don't average a whole lot of points just because we play with the squad in the rec or I play with other people. And it's really just the number of shots he takes. He's pretty dominant on defense, so most of our scores are from fast breaks and things like that. So by the time we score, he's not even halfway up the court. Because, like I said, this is one of the slowest, if not the slowest build on 2K, which is very, very frustrating. But when he does get down there, he's great for last second shots because he's going to make it most of the time. Like you see, he has 74% field goal percentage in the rec. So let's go to my court. What I would do is I would do some 2v2s to really show him off against some other players. And we might at least do one before the end of this video. But first I want to show you some of the different moves that he has. We don't have somebody right now online that we're going to play twos with, so when we do it, we're just going to pick up a random. Which is fine, because we should be able to still win with. Doesn't really matter. All they have to do is pass. If they pass, then we win. Alright. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to invite AI. Let me see. So, a dominant AI. Karl Anthony Towns is okay. But, obviously, if y'all play, y'all know Hendrix Cobb is really good. Hendrix Cobb is a freaking beast. He can do anything. So, I'm going to go ahead and invite him. Also, I'll go ahead and invite Anthony Davis because everybody knows Anthony Davis is a great defender. So we're just gonna do some moves. Let me show you what I got the badges set on, and we're gonna switch it up actually a little bit so I can show you some of the different moves. Okay, so we don't need Lob City Finisher on, or put back pass obviously since we're doing this. We're gonna put on our deep hooks. Now you don't really need back down Punisher on too much just because he's so strong. Really, a bronze will do, but I just might like making people look silly whenever I start to do the back down and then they fucking fly 5 feet away as I start to back them down. So that's pretty funny. Besides that, I have Pro Touch, Consistent Finisher, both of those on Hall of Fame. Those are really probably two of the more important badges. Also, we have Contact Finisher, Relentless Finisher, Drop Stepper, and Slithery Finisher on Hall of Fame. On the shooting, you can really mix these up really however you want. I don't have my ice in the veins very high because he already has a good free throw. So even with bronze ice in the veins, he's going to make most of his free throws with this build in particular. But the main one you're going to want on here is Hot Zone Hunter on gold because that Hot Zone Hunter is very, very good. I mean, that is literally the reason that we got these shooting badges because it helps on those hooks because Hot Zone Hunter, it activates on the hooks. So, also, I used to run Deep Fades and Hot Zone Hunter, but obviously they patched the fades to where you can't really do a lot of good fades. They also patched the hook, but you can still make them with this build. Um, Not as high as percentage as some of these other shots, but if you need it, you can still make it at a decent percentage. Enough to make them come out and actually guard you rather than just sitting under the basket thinking that they're gonna jump last second and stop you, which there's an answer for that too. So anyway, High Zone Hunter I got on Hall of Fame. Let me put Corner Specialist on, and then I'm gonna put Deadeye and Deep Fades just for this example. So the important badges here are obviously Unpluckable, Quick First Step, Post Spin Technician, and Dream Shake. Those are the most important. These are extra. You got a whole lot of badges, obviously, with playmaking here. So I use these in the rec, but you can really have them at whatever you want. And then for defense, obviously we have the basic 3 badges, which are very important. All those are maxed out, and then the rest of them, other 2, you can put on whatever you like. Chase down artists. Post move lockdown is a great one. Obviously, if you're a 5, you're gonna want that lockdown on. So that's the badge we have. Let's run. So first, we're gonna just do a little practice, so that way I can show you um, his post moves and how dominant he is on these. Let me see. Am I able to pull up Hendrix Cobb? Let me see if I can look at his player card. I think I'll have to go in this way to do it. He might be on my team. He is, because he's dominant. He's an extra great player to play at the 4. And it has me at the 4 right now, but I usually switch it up and then have myself at the 5 and have him at the 4. He's great for that because he can shoot. And he's 7'2" on this, which obviously he mirrors whatever player that you build. So since I created a big man, he's a big man. But you can see we're just going to take a look at his progression so we can see how good he is. You can see he has a lot of badges. These are his blue badges. He has the shooting badges, playmaking, and then also most important is the defensive badges. So he has post move lockdown on Hall of Fame, and he has rim protector on Hall of Fame. Which post move lockdown? That's the most important badge to try to go against this build. So obviously, he has more Hall of Fame badges than a player can get because he has Hall of Fame badges in every category, but it's a good comparison to say like a Blue Red or something like that because he has Hall of Fame badges in the red category. And having this post move lockdown, that's pretty big right there. So that's his skill graph, and then let's just look at his overalls. So his overall rank's 84. Let's look at some defense. 89 mid-range. Like, wouldn't it be great if you could actually build a player like this that's so dominant in everything? But I guess it wouldn't be very much fun to go against them. So let's look at defense. Interior defense is going to be a 90, which is pretty high. That's going to be the same as somebody that's like a blue red or something like that. And plus, he has the intangibles of the height. He has a block rating of 91, which is also great. So that's good news, especially for what we're trying to show off here. His defensive consistency is at 83. Surprised his intangibles is so low. Alright, so that's him. Now let's look at who else we got in here. Anthony Davis. Alright, Anthony Davis. let's look at the D because that's what we're really looking at, and then I'll show you a little bit of what this one can do on D. So, what do we got? Interior defense is a 98. Nice. Block is a 90. Defensive consistency a 96. 91 strike. So he is really one of the better post defenders in the game. So that one's going to be fun going against. Oh, let's look at his badges. Especially defense. He doesn't have Hall of Fame on defense, which is surprising because they're important badges. Box, brick wall, heart crusher, intimidator, pogo stick, post move lockdown, rim protector. So all that's on gold. So it's decent. It's not Hall of Fame. Would have liked it better if it was Hall of Fame. What actually surprises me looking through these, because I don't think I've looked through them before on him. You kidding me that he doesn't have any Hall of Fame badges? Seriously? You gotta be kidding me. You guys just saw Hendrix Cobb. He has Hall of Fame badges in every category. And this Anthony Davis literally has no Hall of Fame badges. They're all gold is the highest. Alright. So first we'll do against Hendrix Cobb, and then we'll do Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis should be the better defender of the two. And we're just going to do a personal workout, so that way we can play some offense and then do some defense. So we're going to start out on offense, and we're going to put Hendrix Cobb on defense. Alright. One of the reasons I like doing it in here, because it also shows which badges are activating. So, this guy has very bad ball handling. So what you don't want to do is you never want to hit them while you're just dribbling. You want to make sure you got your L2 held before you ever touch them. So let's just do this real quick, because he's just sitting under the basket. So, that's obviously why you can't sit under the basket against this type of build. You had to come out and guard him, but you also had that hook to try to get him to come out to guard you, like at the top right here, so you can like post spin off of him or something like that. And then when you're able to do moves together. So I picked up the ball, kind of stuck here. Let's try to do our feed. I think I only put that on bronze, but there we go. Well, it turned out to be a hook. But you see that Hot Zone Hunter pop up, that Deep Hooks Hall of Fame pop up. All of those have good effect. So what we're going to do, he's kind of guarding us out here. We're going to show a couple of hooks for if they don't guard you out here, even though he is. Let me try to bring him down here and then get him to try to just drop down so he doesn't guard us out there. So that way he plays more inside. This is obviously not a fast build, but it's very strong. But you see how when I'm doing these drop steps, you see it's wide open. It's disabling him from being able to defend it, which is one of the reasons that this build is so dominant, because it disables him from even being able to, try to defend a lot of the things that you're going to try to do. So we're not trying to take the step. Let's do some different moves, some post spins. I'm not going to take our takeover because I want to show you with him on regular. Come back. Okay, let's do some hooks. Wow, I actually just timed that horribly. Let's try that again. Come back, get in front of me. You are in a horrible spot right now. Come on. These AIs are so bad at defense. That's why I wish they were better. I am mistiming all of these post hooks. This thing I must have changed the animation. It's not the fast post hook I usually use. There we go. We got it slightly. Obviously, you get it slightly. You got that Pro Touch Hall of Fame. You got the Hot Zone Hunter on gold. If you can slightly your hooks or green them, either one, then they're going to go in most of the time. Obviously, if you mistime it, it's a little bit of a different story. So, some of these I'm mistiming. And part of this is because they did uh, patch the hook when everybody was doing that freaking shot aiming and just getting those hooks because of that system that they were using. So they patched the hooks a little bit, but still he's decent at the hooks. But his main moves are the other posters that he does, and then you can chain them together. So we do a little spin, we do a little hop. Wow, I'm surprised he actually missed that. If I would have slightly did, then he definitely would have made it. But one thing I do want to show is you see you can get no contest on these if you get them under the basket. And it's easy to get them under the basket with your strength. So you see that's wide open. We get them under the basket, and you can literally do that all day. I mean, you'll see when we go to the twos real quick. Oh, great. So I'm actually going to do this as a post feed just because I have that badge on. And I picked up the ball, didn't mean to. Mm. So, and he has so many options. Like literally, you could just back him all the way down to under the basket, and then just do that. Um, I mean, earlier I talked about there's one build that can actually slow this build down, but it can't stop it, and that's the glass lock. Anybody that's played with a glass lock knows that a glass lock has some crazy intangibles on defense. Like no matter what, especially if you're talking about a max size Glock slug, especially those. That's why it's the go-to for new players and things like that. If you're new to this game, you don't know a lot about it, you want something that you're able to contribute to the team, even though you might not be skilled, then max size glass lock is the way to go for you. Um, they have an intangible intimidator. You could get a red blue that is has that intimidator, but it's not going to be near the same as pure red glass lock with that same intimidator. Just because I know that because this guy is so dominant in the post, and if somebody's able to stop him more regularly, then it's pretty obvious what it is that they're doing. So. Yeah, the glass lock is the only one that's able to slow him down, and it really has to be a max size glass lock. So we're just going to do a few more. We'll switch to AD and then run a few parks, and then this will be done. So as you can see, I messed up the shooting percentage just because I went ahead and did those hooks that I horribly timed. So, but that's a skill thing. Look at that glitch block. I'm not going to take my team takeover during this part of the video. When we get on the twos, I'll take the takeover and show you what you can do with the takeover, but I'm sure you already know. But with so many options, especially on the twos, they just really have to double team you. I'm actually surprised he's getting such a good contest. It's probably because his move is so high. I mean, don't forget this guy has Hall of Fame post move lockdown. So it kind of cancels out my drop stepper, but the intangibles are there so crazy, so it's not gonna completely cancel it out or anything like that. And I think it's actually pretty sad that he has Hall of Fame uh, post move lockdown and it still disables him like that. I could still back him down easily, and then you can see it just completely disables him at the rim. All right, so let's go ahead and get a D in here. I just wanted to show you the field goal percentage real quick. See, that one was very late. It still went in. I'm actually, like I said, surprised he's getting such a good contest on these. Usually, You'll see when I start going against users, usually he's never going to get more than a 10% contest just because of that height and those intangible size. Like you see, the reason he just got his takeover is because on his teammate grade, he just got a good shot contest. But it doesn't really matter because, like I said, that was a slightly. If you're able to hit slightly, almost every slightly is going to go in. It's very rare this guy misses a slightly just because that Pro Touch Hall of Fame. So now he has his badge. He should be able to put up a more better contest. So let's see what he does. Ooh, I like it. Oh, come on. I hate it when they pick up the ball. All right. Also, rim protecting takeover, that's going to be the best one, obviously, against this, but oh, come on, let me do the hook. Well, he doesn't have his takeover anymore, so no use in keep doing this because we already saw him get beat without his takeover. So let's get AD. AD should be a little bit better on defense. Let's just see what he's able to do as far as stopping our field goal percentage. And this isn't glitching him. Let me be sure to emphasize that. There's a difference in going to the 3-point line and jab stepping just to make your guy back off from you and actually playing the game and doing moves against them to beat them. One of the moves, obviously, with shooters, that it'd be similar to their step back. You know, you can still step back on an AI and get them most of the time, but players that don't always great at step back, they're not always going to make those at a high percent. But this is similar. So it's actually playing the game and beating them that way rather than just trying to glitch them. So let's get AD on the court. And then we will go out to the twos, get a random, see what happens there. Actually, we're going to play a little defense too. AD. Now, one thing this isn't good at defending, and you'll see this on the twos, it's horrible because he's so slow. One, he's not good at defending the three. Two, he's not good at stepping up on screens and being able to make it back to the basket. So having the right team is important. So you see AD is standing under there. Users will do this. They'll sit there and they won't guard you. They'll stand under the basket. I mean, granted, you can fix this by just going up there and shooting, but you can also hit that hook right there and then they'll have to come out to you and they'll have to start guarding you because they see if you want to just sit down there, then I'll just sit here and make these hooks all day. If they're not contested, then it's a lot easier. Look, he actually has better post defense, which is crazy considering he only has gold badges compared to Hendrix Cobb that has, but he has a higher progression, so that's good. Oh, he made me pick up the ball. That's the hook again. I didn't see what that was contested, but it's probably pretty high contested. But since I slightly did, I got so many badges kicking in that it's just going to go in. Another thing that's kind of glitchy about this, and from what I hear, aiming is going away next year. So this will probably be the last 2 weeks you can use this. If you change your shot timing or you change it to aiming and keep the timing on, you can actually activate two badges at once. You can activate your Pro Touch and your Consistent Finisher. So where that gets really nasty is on those hooks. Because you do a deep hook, then you're activating your Hot Zone Hunter, you're activating your Hall of Fame deep hooks, you're activating your Hall of Fame Consistent Finisher, and you're activating your Hall of Fame Pro Touch. That's a lot of freaking badges going into you making pretty much a close shot that you already have a 95 progression on. So, I mean, it's really, it's, that was one of the first reasons I made this build because I used to use that a lot, but that was before they really patched the hooks to where people were able to do more about it. Nice, AD. Now, let's try to pay attention and let's just try to get a good field goal percentage against AD to show what this guy's capability is. We just go to 10 shots or something like that. And then we'll go out there and go see somebody else. We're not going to take that quick step. We know we had him, but we want him to be able to defend. I should have pump faked on that to activate that dream shake. But it's actually trying to do a step through right there. Let's see how good we are backing him down. I think we got that on silver or something. Yeah, we got that on silver. If we put that all the way up, we could back him down too, because he does have a high strength, which is what's keeping us from being able to back him down as much. But like I said, if we put that higher than silver, then we could back him down again. So you see that's very late, 100% contested, and that sucker went in. Intangibles, man. You just gotta know what 2K freaking lets you do and what they don't. Nice DAD. Those slightlies are deadly on this build. If you're good at getting slightlies on your layups, it doesn't even have to be slightlies with this guy because he's so good. But if you're good at getting slightlies, I mean those pretty much go in every time. All right, so we did a little bit. I should have done a little bit more with him with his badge. Let me score on him a couple times with his badge. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I should have done a hook from out there. Come on. And that was a fade. Usually I wouldn't take these shots if I have a teammate, obviously. I'd pass it and then get in a better position if the move doesn't work. Like you see, it's like him being able to stop some of the moves because he has the takeover. And obviously his interior defense is so high. So usually on those, I'd set back up, make sure that I can actually get into a spot to where I'm going to be able to get a good contest. Obviously, regardless of what you play, you want to use some IQ as far as what's a good shot and what's not a good shot. Like this, obviously, it's not going to go in, but I don't have anybody to pass it to, so you just do whatever the best shot you got with where you're at. All right, let's take this back out to the wreck. AD did pretty good. Let's see how users do. All right, y'all can chill here. I'll be back. Okay, is anybody in this neighborhood? This is going to take a second to load up. To see where all the randoms are. So, problem is finding a random that just lets you take over the game. Not all of them will. Especially when you do lower rep. Lower rep, sometimes they don't understand what does work and what doesn't work. Look at this. That's some great graphics 2K. Look. It's Sliding around. Impressive. Okay, I think we should try a different neighborhood because this looks like it's gonna glitch once we get into an actual game. Because these guys are sliding around like every few seconds. It's a glitch I recently noticed in the neighborhood that it's doing this. And then again, I don't play in the neighborhood too terribly much. Just started doing some for some videos recently. So let's go to a different neighborhood and hopefully we don't run across the same issue. We're not going to do the core conquer because I already showed you against the AI. Obviously, it's dominant against the AI. So I want to show you against specifically users. I mean, what they're going to do is really exactly what you have to do with any dominant person on the twos. They have to double team. But the thing about it is, even double teaming, most of the time, it doesn't work. Let's see who we got over here. Looks like we got a random standing over there. Maybe we'll be able to pick them up. What is this? Play shot? I guess we could take him. I don't know. I think that he's probably wanting to do something. Maybe better we just pick up a random closer to the twos. Don't know if this guy even plays two, so see if we can't find one around there. Oh crap! Look at that. Look at this. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Look at this. This better not glitch when we get there. This guy keeps wanting to follow. This is 2K card. Well, he basically qualifies almost for what we like to do. Usually I try to get pros or rookies that have under 50% win percentage to help him get wins. He has under 50% win percentage, but he is an all-star. But the point of this is to show you this build, so we'll take him on, see if he passes the ball, and then show you what this build can do. Fine, Icy. Let's go hit these twos. So I'm gonna look at these just so I can show you what we're going up against. This is Tim Kota. So let's see what his build is, just so y'all can see what it's gonna be. Tim Kota is I found him. Here he is. Alright, he's 6'7", power forward, slasher 4. Not a build you want to play against this gun. Alright, let's do this. So the whole point is we get possession and then we don't give it back to them. Score at a high rate. Which is why, a lot of times I'll run with these randoms. Because to be honest, it doesn't really matter. It's skipping already. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can lower this frame rate on this stream and get it to skip less. They have a slashing 4 and a stretch 4. So they have 2 4s. I'm going to try to drop them both. I got my camera messed up because, like I said, I usually do rec, so I don't use the 2K camera in rec, but the camera I use in the rec, you obviously can't use in the park, so it always puts you on that swivel camera. Alright. Good shot. Giving him some space to shoot. He's a stretch four. He has a high shooting, but should be 95, 95. But he has to make 100%. So if he doesn't, goaltending, of course. He's skipping. It's gonna kill me. There we go. All right. So, well, let's hope this works with this skipping because. All right. So here we go. Come back. Come on, defend. You gotta defend, otherwise I can't freaking show off what this guy could do. Go ahead, foul. Go ahead, double. Good double. It's not gonna do any good. Man, this thing's skipping too much. Come on, double. What's up, guys? And I'm not passing you the ball because I don't like it, because I'm making a video trying to show off this build. Nice foul. So I promised y'all at least 80%. 5 or 6 so far. Really, I thought I was going to do 100% on this, but that didn't work out. Go ahead, random. Damn. See, the thing about the tooth cord is it's all about efficiency. It's about making all your shots. Really, we shouldn't have missed one. Usually, I don't miss one on the twos, but at least these guys are not really hitting at a huge rate. Come on. I want y'all to defend. Alright, man. Miss 3 shots. Let me shoot until I miss 3 shots. Well, so we went 6 of 7. Like I showed you. It's easily get 75 percent or more in the park. We're looking at 80 to 90% of the shots. Fortunately, we can't force randoms to pass the ball. I don't blame him for wanting to be involved in the game, so no shade on him. But what I really wanted to show you was how dominant this build is and the percentage that he could shoot it at. Now, if we did have random that just passed the ball, we would have won that game just from the fact that he just doesn't miss that much, and twos is all about efficiency. So, if you want a good build, it's going to do great on the twos. It's also going to do very good on the threes, and still perform in the rec. I highly suggest this build. 67 to 68 badges. It's a really good build. Like I said, 80 to 90% field goal percentage in the park, 75 to 80% in the rec. So very dominant. Appreciate y'all watching this video. Feel free to like if you want. If you don't, then don't. See y'all next time.